Morning, morning, folks. Oh, I just realized my my windows are open. 1 second, I'll close them so you can see me better. Hold on. There we go. It's a little bit better. Morning all, morning Aaron, morning Amira, Griffy. I just sent you through. Let me know on a message if you've, yeah, okay, good. James, Leon, Dill, hope you guys are all well. Right, so unfortunately, another stop out yesterday on CAD Yen. I did like that trade. I still like that trade to the downside. Almost a good entry. We know with this aggressive, it's going to be a little bit less win rate. But we are in two trades which are looking a little bit better, which I'll go into in a second. But I still like this. We could be potentially completing C-wave here. This is not an aggressive entry either because of the lack of volume. But looking for this to come down for a potential break on CAD Yen to the downside. But just a wee bit early. Just a wee bit early. And hey, we move on. We move on. I'll go into GA and Pound Aussie while I'm here, or EA and Pound Aussie. So a decent move to the upside. Let's see. Let's see. You know what's quite funny about this is normally we'd talk about a 20 period catch up, right? Look at this 20 period here, completely straight for I don't know how long, but in this one we're actually getting a 200 period catch up on price action, and this is an SMA as well. But we've had a reaction off the bottom of this possible, it looks like it's in this wedging structure here. Pushing on, I don't want to say I think it's going to break. I do like it. If we do get up here, I just theoretically or theory dictates that this should push to the upside. And we only need one. And if we can get EA and GA running, it won't matter. With a 50% win rate, you're expecting a higher payoff, that 2.5 average. So if we can get some winners there, then, you know, I'll be perfectly happy with that. But as long as we do get up here and push through today, with the SPX falling off, I think that should help the trade as long as that continues. And in terms of ready to move, it still is counter trend. It still is counter trend. But let's see what it does today. So nothing banked, obviously. Anything can happen. But let's see what it does once London opens up on GA. And EA is kind of similar. EA from this daily perspective, it wasn't. I was actually looking for a potential breakout retest here, but not enough volume on that catalyst. So we've got our context ABC, push through, another potential ABC continuation. So is this retest after a double rejection of this previous resistance potentially becoming new support back to that 20 period? Do we kind of continue on from now? Let's see. Let's see when London opens up. My bias, if I was not in these trades, would be this looks pretty good for movement to the upside, and same with GA as a counter trend idea. So as always, anything can happen, but I kind of like where I am. Just need that little bit of follow through, little bit of momentum, and we push to the upside, inshallah, as they say here in UAE, inshallah. Okay, markets today. We've gapped down. I wasn't massively comfortable, as I said yesterday, with this setup pushing through, rejection off that 200. Are we now coming back down? There is a potential here. I mean, there's two sides to a coin, right? So there's always a long and short bias, but there's potential for this. But I just think at the moment, you know, there's not any real reason for this to be buying up just yet, apart from dip buying opportunities, you know, and obviously the premise of is everything now being priced in. So from a daily perspective, depending on how this day closes, again, we've got a lot of time to go. It was a decent day yesterday in terms of potential pullback continuation, but the gap down may have slightly changed things. So if we do get, and probably looking on smaller time frames, if we do get a kind of fall off here, it doesn't look like this gap is wanting to be filled, but it potentially could do. If we do get a fall off here, then yeah, risk off obviously comes into play, potentially movement to the downside. Confirmation, you know, maybe with how price action looks, confirmation of a break underneath this anchor on smaller time frames, although I'm not massively big on analyzing indexes from a small time frames, but if we do get a breakthrough or a break underneath this area, then yeah, you could see that market start to become a little bit more wobbly yet again. So do I think this is over from a weekly perspective? As I said yesterday, there's no reason yet. There was a reason last week, but there's no another or additional reason to buy up this market yet. And you know, continues to fall potentially. Yeah, pullback can continue a little bit from a daily perspective, but ultimately you'll be looking at this market falling at the moment. So stock market maybe coming down, continue, and some more great bargains in the market. Some more great. If you're not excited for this, if you're not like thinking, I was actually thinking about selling my bloody house. That was generally I thought yesterday. I'm like, you know, if I what am I going to get for my house? You know, if I put that onto the market, what am I expecting in a couple of years? I generally was thinking that because, you know, these types of drops, and although we've seen it recently, okay, COVID, etc., they don't come around often. And it's a massive opportunity, you know, and this is where possibly cash is king, right? A massive opportunity to make some long-term investment plays, and you have to be looking at that. You know, even your blue chips. I mean, what are you guys looking at? Is there anything you are specifically looking at? You know, Apple, Amazon, you know, the big boys, Google, Tesla, tech's obviously been hit massively. Anything you guys are thinking of, or just kind of sticking to the index to buy that up? Let me know. I'll put it in the group, like things as well. We've got a stock chat here. So if you're looking at any like decent shares, and maybe I start doing this as well, but you know, my ones are all pretty standard for your investment decisions. Okay, so dollar. I think dollar is interesting. We didn't really get a reaction around the area. I mean, slightly here. We have come down. We actually broke through and getting a reaction roughly around this 200 now. Looks to be possibly in this retest phase of this area. So are we going to continue in this? Do impulse corrective, back to here, back to the 20, continuation. Yeah, I think that would be my bias. From a daily perspective, the pullback has some strength to it. You know, the pullback does have some strength to it. You know, we're seeing days, and if I zoom in here so you can see it better, right? We're seeing days here, here, here. So if you're a pullback trader, which I'm obviously not, but if you're a pullback trader, this is not really something you like to see. You know, this is not something you like to see. There is strength in here. Marabuzo yesterday as well. Yes, path of least resistance is to the upside. Yes, we could be a pullback from this initial phase. But I just worry a little bit about the dollar. Fundamentally, do I think that dollar should be long right now? Yes, I do. But technicals at the moment aren't telling me that. That can change. That can obviously change. But intraday bias would be retest of this area. Look for exactly what we're seeing here. Your reason to short the dollar. And we've got our reason twice here. Let's see if we get it a third time. Looking at dollar shorts on that pullback. And let's see how far it goes. So dollar shorts continue. Okay, watch this today. CAD yen I talked about. I do like the premise of that trade. I do. I really do. As I said, I can still look for a breakout here. So something like this, the 20 period is there. A little bit of accumulation. The pattern is good. I like the premise in terms of risk sentiment of buying the yen, break to the downside. That's what I'll be looking for CAD yen. Potentially something for later on this week. But yeah, my gut likes that idea. Ironically, I'm still looking at the German 30. So ideally, this would have come up and tagged this area. It's not really done that, which is a little bit of a not frustration, but that you know, that's what I would have liked to see. Now, if this comes off like the indexes do, then obviously, okay, we take it away. But you know, if we do end up potentially getting a rejection up here, we can take this as our secondary structure as a whole. So if we potentially get this, I would have to take this as our secondary structure rather than our third and look for another little reload before a break to the upside. That's obviously depending if things shift and we start pushing on in indexes, which I don't think will happen, but the opportunity is there potentially for a long on that index. And the only other one I'm looking at is Bitcoin. So I've put this on here. I'm not ready to short it yet, or I want to short it. I want to short Bitcoin. Okay, we've got that 20 catch up. We're digesting that move. We're starting to come on to that impulse corrective, very similar to the dollar, very simple trend theory, push to the downside. Okay, so there's not context here yet, but I want to put it on my list. I mean, you could potentially look at, is that a head and shoulders here? What's the high? 307.49. The high here is 306. Well, technically, you could look at that as 307.51. No, you can't. So what I was looking at here is making this my initial structure, my basing structure, potential cup structure for a break to the downside. So like I said, I put it on, and I could put a few of the cryptos on because I like where they are. You know, I like the breakout area. I like the daily digestion. I like the fact that I think Bitcoin shorts and crypto shorts continue. Morning, Elmi. Morning, John. And as I said, it's getting to the point where I want to short it, but it's got to give me that context. It's got to give me that setup, which involves another little reload here where we can take this as our kind of cup with handle, break to the downside. Certainly be happy to do that and you know, continue with crypto shorts, obviously. And that is it. That is very much it for today. As I said, with GA in, depending I have a feeling today. I know I've had a feeling a few times, but I just have a feeling today that we could move here. And if we do get a break, because if we look at structures, remember I talked about this. When you get structures like this, you know, channels, wedges, you're looking for the best breaks to be around 3/4 of the way through, which is kind of what we're getting here, you know. So I mean, maybe yeah, we could do this, but ultimately, I just think this pushes, and if it does, because of the digestion phase we have, you know, potentially accumulation to take this to the upside. Again, trying to get my bias hat out of. I just do like it. So let's see. Let's see on pound Aussie. Right, any relatively short stream this morning. Any questions? Anything you guys want me to look at? Any trades that you guys are looking at? Let's look at some Nick's trades. EU 2 possible entries. Up there. Yeah, I mean, yesterday I would have liked that. Selling the euro, buying the dollar. I mean, I still kind of like it, but it's not what it's doing right now. You know, it's not. I mean, which area have you identified here? 1.08. 1.08. So you're looking a little bit further up. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I actually like that idea. Pushing on there, getting up to that area, I guess up here, you're looking for to short it. Risk reward play. Makes sense. Yeah, I like that. GU, yep. GU as well, yep. NU as well, yeah. I like the ideas. Selling the euro against the dollar, as long as this dollar neatens out a little bit, but you'd expect the dollar to be stronger than all those currencies right now, right? And you going up there, buying it on a pullback. Yeah, I like all those ideas. I like that idea. Yep. All right. Nothing else? Everybody's quite quiet this morning. No other trades, no other questions. No, all right, guys. All right, well, have a lovely day. And I'll let you type Griffey before I go. No, yeah, okay. All right, quick stream today. Don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. Have a great day. Trade safe, and I'll see you all in the morning. Peace.